Welcome to italki's Teacher Tip series. I'm Tom and I teach French on italki.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build your first sentences in French even if you don't know any grammar. I have a question for you. How did you learn the grammar of your own language? Did you learn it at school, really? Or were you able to use it before even studying it? Look, if you're learning French right now, you're probably thinking that you need to understand every concept of French grammar before using them. I get it. We hate making stupid mistakes when we are trying to speak a new language. And as adults, we love learning by understanding. That's fine, but keep in mind that language learning is 20% understanding concepts and 80% practicing. But here's the good news. You don't need to learn a lot of grammar and to prepare yourself a lot before being able to build your first sentences in French. In fact, in this video, I'm going to show you how to build your first sentences in French in 5 easy steps. Let's start with a handle verb. A handle verb is just a conjugated verb that is not followed by any preposition. It's also followed by a verb at the infinitive form. By using handle verbs, we will avoid having to conjugate the second verb. Here are 3 handle verbs you can use. Je veux, which means I want to. Je peux, which means I can, I'm able to. Je dois, which means I have to, I must. Now we will add 3 verbs. Parler, to speak, parler. Comprendre, to understand, comprendre. And apprendre, to learn, apprendre. You don't need any preposition to use these verbs, and you don't need to conjugate the second verb. So basically, after je peux, je veux, je dois, you can put any verb you want without conjugating it. Okay, step number 3. Now it's time to add adverbs. 3 new adverbs. First one, bien, which means well or good, but in this case, as it's an adverb, it means well. Bien. Un peu, which means a little bit. Un peu. And the third one, beaucoup, which means a lot. So now we can make cool new sentences. For example, je veux un peu parler. I want to speak a little in English, but we will put the adverb right after je veux. This is the most common structure. It's not really wrong to say je veux parler un peu, but in general, try to keep the adverb right after the first verb. Okay, now you can see different sentences. Je veux un peu parler. I want to speak a little. Je peux bien comprendre. I can understand well. Je dois beaucoup apprendre. I have to learn a lot. Okay, now let's try new combinations. Je veux un peu apprendre. Je peux beaucoup comprendre. Je dois bien parler. Or we can switch the adverb right after the second verb. Je peux comprendre beaucoup. This is correct as well. Step number 4. Complement. That's a big noun for this, but I won't go deep into grammar in this small tutorial. Complements can be anything that you add to your sentence to add some meaning. Here I will show you 3 different ones. Avec toi, which means with you, avec toi. Tous les jours, which means every day, so you can express time, you can express with whom, every day, tous les jours, and sur italki, so on italki, basically. Tous les jours, by the way, means all the days, plural. All the days, that's how we say every day in French. And then we can build new sentences with that. So let's see, what can we say? Je veux beaucoup parler sur italki tous les jours. I want to speak a lot on italki every day. You can also say je veux beaucoup parler avec toi tous les jours. I want to speak a lot with you every day. I want a lot to speak with you every day. Step number 5. Okay, we won't add anything to our sentences. You already know 12 new words and you can already build a lot of sentences with that. What is important now is to practice. You have to practice to get used to using this structure and maybe incorporate more handle verbs, maybe more verb and maybe new adverbs. Adverbs are really useful. And then some new complement. So what is important now is not only to understand how these short sentences work, but it's also to practice. Remember that understanding is just a small part of language learning. What is really important is to practice it, because language learning is a skill. It's not knowledge. It's not something you understand and that it's done. So let's practice. Let's make a few new sentences. Okay, new one. Je peux un peu parler tous les jours. I can speak a little bit every day. Je dois beaucoup apprendre. Yeah, that's a sentence. Je dois beaucoup apprendre. Je veux bien comprendre. Je dois beaucoup apprendre avec toi. Je veux bien comprendre sur italki. I want to understand well on italki. Okay, awesome. Now, in order to practice, you can go through these building blocks and try to build as many sentences as you can. For example, I have one for you. Maybe you can try to guess what it means. Je dois parler tous les jours français avec toi sur italki. Thank you for watching. Are you ready to challenge yourself and learn French? If yes, click on the link in the description and book a one-on-one lesson with me now.